This is Michael Kaplan from Taga, and we are lucky enough to be here today with a guitar legend who has filmed movies, recorded on albums, co-written songs with virtually every artist imaginable. So thank you, Steve, for being here.
I didn't work with Frank
Steve
Sinatra,
Cropper.
of course.
Okay, you didn't work with Frank Sinatra, but everybody
or
else.
Dean Martin, but everybody else.
All the other soul, rock, blues. How do you describe? How did you get it all done?
I don't know that you can. It's interesting. People refer to me, they know me from Memphis, obviously.
Yeah.
And they think I still live there, which is fine. And I said, but you don't know that I left Memphis in '74. If you want to date that and look at a calendar, '74 is a long time ago. So what happened was, I went to LA, I produced Jose Feliciano. I did 3 albums on Jose. And one of which I did in Memphis, the Memphis album, and then he had built a new studio down in Orange County, which is close to Disneyland, not Disney World, that's in Florida, but Disneyland, and in Orange County. And I said, okay, we'll go out and check it out. So I took my engineer out there, and he loved it, and it was a great studio, and we wound up doing 2 albums there. During that time, I met some people flying out. I won't name who they are. That kind of influenced me to say, will you have any time at all, sometime, to come and do maybe some sessions? And I said, well, I have weekends off. So a friend of mine, at the time I was still living in Memphis. And so I'd take weekends off and go up and play a few sessions and all, and then it just got more and more demand and all that. And I learned more people and had a lot of friends in LA. So when I was like through, or they were through with me, with Jose, I had a place to go. I still lived in Memphis, but I had so many friends in LA, and I had been going there, working there since the early '60s, doing TV and stuff, because of success with Booker T and MGs and so forth. And so it was, the transition was almost nothing. It was, there I was with my friends, playing music with my friends, and it wasn't a difficult time for me at all. It was very easy. So I moved to Los Angeles in '74, and I lived there 13 years. In that time, I played on a lot of records, a lot of albums, and a lot of album cuts. And a funny story, we were in Moscow, and I got a call in the room and said, can you come down about 10 minutes early? There's some guys down here that want you to sign a few albums. Okay, I'll come down. So I come down, and I'm sitting in the lobby there and all that, and they said, well, you ready to sign some albums? And I said, well, yeah, I don't mind. They said, okay, we'll bring those guys over. So they motioned for them to come over, and they've got a stack of albums about like this, and I go, no, not again, you know, I mean, that's okay. But, and so I saw the first one, and I went, well, you know, it's nothing wrong with stacks, but I do that all the time in Europe and wherever. And I signed it, fine. Go to the next one, I signed it, and I said, I did it in LA, and I signed it, and go to the next one. Not one album was from the early days of Stax. They were all the stuff that I did in LA. A lot of hit artists. That was a lot of fun too, but Ringo and
yeah.
You know.
That's why I said
you
it.
say Rod Stewart and on and on and on. I mean, the list is like that, and I'm not going to name drop, but it was a lot of fun.
What do you accredit this career
You know, I don't know.
Certainly skills, obviously.
Obviously, I don't like to play, if something's written, I don't really read music. And if somebody's written something out that's in their head, I say, okay, hum it to me.
Let me hear it, yeah.
You know, and I'll do what you want, but I'm not going to read the notes because I don't read notes. And so we get along that way, and everybody knows that. And the other thing is that they just want me to do Steve Cropper and ad-lib. And I play to whatever I hear, which seems to work.
And has always worked, and is continuing.
And as long as this keeps working, I'm going to stay alive to do it. You know?
There you go, yeah.
It gives me a reason to hang around.
I mean, you've...
I don't bore myself because you know, sometimes touring is different because you have to kind of duplicate what you did on record that people expect. You got to play the hits, you know, and it's like the Blues Brothers.
I guess the intro
we
to Soul Man.
Soul Man and everybody, you know,
we don't play that intro.
Might as well just load the gun and y'all pull the trigger because, you know, they pay good money to come in here and do those songs.
Did you, I mean, you know, before Stax, growing up Mississippi, am I correct? Is that where you're from?
No, I was born in Missouri.
Or Missouri, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So growing up in Missouri, up in
growing up in Missouri,
yeah.
and moved to Memphis when I was about 10 years old.
So when did you start playing?
I was about 14 or 15. I started doing writing. I was writing then, but nobody wanted to hear what I wrote. And I put together a band in high school with some buddies and another guitar player.
Doing rock and roll stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we did Elvis things and the local rock and roll, the hits of the day, you know.
Sure.
We did. And then as the band progressed, the reason that we got a shot, let's put it that way, a shot to do something, which they didn't think we had a shot to do anything.
What age are we talking?
Oh, I was 18, 19, I guess. And our tenor player, who was not necessarily that great, who turned out to be a great saxophone player, stopped me in the hall one day and he says, "I hear you got a band." And I said, "Well, yeah, we do. They're playing and all that." And he said, "Well, I want to be in your band." I said, "Well, we're not looking for anybody. What do you do?" And he said, "Well, I play a horn." I said, "Really? How long have you been playing horn?" He said, "I've been taking lessons for 3 months." Great. Somewhere in there, he said that his uncle owned a recording studio. And I said, "Really?
Wait a minute.
Owns a recording studio. Can you show up this Saturday for rehearsal?" Come to find out that his uncle owned some recording equipment in a garage in North Memphis. And his sister had always dreamed of and wanted a record shop. She wanted to be an owner of a record shop, which turned out to be pretty hip Satellite Records. Boom, there you go, Satellite Records out, and the history still stays the same. The way it all worked out was that Jim went to his sister and said, "I want to put together a recording studio, but I'm going to need some money." So she mortgaged her house to put that studio together, and she said, "I'll do it only if I can have a record shop up front." Started out in very low rent place out in Brunswick, Tennessee, which most people don't know about Brunswick, Tennessee. And the opportunity came up through a guy that was A&R for Jim and worked with a great guitar player, Chip Smolin, great producer, writer, player, and all that. Put me on my first session at Stax. It wasn't Stax then, it was still Satellite Records. And I remember the session, remember what I played and all that, because he wanted an engineer. Interesting. And since you are a Guitar Academy, back in those days, they only made guitar chords so long.
You weren't getting 20 foot.
6 feet, there's no 20 foot anything. No. They made those telephone accordion that would stretch into about 8 feet or something.
If you really.
And if you walk too far up, you'd pull your amp over. That kind of thing. They're very sturdy chords. But they were the telephone chord type. And the others, none of us. I could name you at least 5 or 6 famous guitar players that wanted to be engineers, that never thought about just buying some cable and put a lease on the end and doing it, you know. It's easy to do. We've been doing it all of our lives, but we didn't think of it then. And I remember a story that Ike Turner told me. And he said, "I want to be an engineer too." So he had his engineer build a cable so he could have the foot switch to start and stop the machine from the studio.
Not in the console, or in the...
So he could play, and he could start it and hit the record button and start playing. The reverse of what we wound up eventually doing. And even at Stax, and as late as probably 70, I guess 6 or so, with the song Dock of the Bay, which everybody remembers. I played both guitars. Most records at Stax didn't have 2 guitars because they couldn't afford but one. And so I played acoustic on the date, on the Dock of the Bay date.
Recording date.
And then I decided, and Otis and I both said, you know, some guitar licks would be good. He never heard of them.
Right.
But we had a big control room, so I could set up, if I turned the amp a certain way and mic'd it a certain way, I didn't get any feedback on the speakers.
You did all those licks after Otis.
So I did that. Well, I did that before. I did that on a Friday evening, and Otis passed away on a Sunday morning. But he never heard it. He was going to hear it on a Monday, and I was forced to mix the record on a Tuesday. So
and you have, you know, you mentioned the name Otis, so we're not going to we could sit here all day, and I can't even remember all,
Well,
Otis and Wilson, and the list goes on and on and on and on. You played with Jeff Beck. Who haven't you played with that you would like to play with?
When I played with, you said I played with Jeff Beck, I produced Jeff Beck.
Yeah. You didn't play with him?
No.
Produced, okay.
And something I didn't know when I produced him. We made a hit record called Going Down.
Yeah.
It was the Jeff Beck group album with Bobby Tinch and Cozy Powell and all that. Bobby Tinch was a great rock guitar player. I did not know that until way later. He sang on Going Down and all that. He's a great singer.
Yeah. But
all those guys are great. Jeff, I was amazed when we were working with Jeff, and I'd sit there and I'd watch him do stuff. And when I play a little bit guitar, and I said, "You can't get that there. You can't do that in that position." Jeff Beck does it. And he's got better through the years. He's unbelievable.
yeah, he's certainly
so
carved out.
good.